Let's do a quick audio test.
Good morning, everybody.
Perfect. Okay. Let's do it. So, let's just bring this down. How are we doing, everybody? Are we surviving? Are we surviving? So, first thing I want to do, before we do the breakdown, markets should be opening in a minute. I spent several, pretty much more time than I should have done this morning and yesterday, just breaking some data down. Had a member in the Discord yesterday ask if yesterday was like a sort of a standard day. Not specifically in terms of like maybe the trading action, but it got me really thinking about, actually, yeah, yesterday wasn't a standard day. Sometimes I'm just so mechanical in what I do in terms of, if this doesn't happen, then I do this. I.e., if a level doesn't trade, then I don't trade. I just sort of don't do anything. And obviously for someone new, specifically in the Discord, they might be thinking like, what is it? Is this all we're doing? Like, what else is there to do, right? And I'm only going to speak when there's obviously something valid to say, or else, what's the point of speaking, right? But anyway, besides the point, it got me thinking about, in terms of how we opened yesterday with a 3.9% gain, which you can see here. And in Discord, I did have ChatGPT, which it just wasn't giving me the correct data. So I was really trying to work it out, but I had to basically, I had issues with Python, so I couldn't do it on Python. So I had to literally just do it on, get the data from Google. And what I've currently got, I think is correct. But if there's anyone out there that is a little bit more savvy with coding or Python or anything like that, specifically with the bar chart data, either from bar chart or from Google or Yahoo, wherever, then let me know. But I think what I've got is fairly accurate. And what we have, I was going to filter this on 4%. So if I do filter this on 4%, you'll be able to see it's actually, just put a filter on here. You'll be able to see the difference. So if I just put greater than equal than greater than 4%, you'll see it's actually only been 3 days. In the past 15, I think this was 15 years worth of data, or 10 years worth of data, from 2015 to 2025. So there's only been 3 days in 10 years where we have gapped up more than basically 4.8%, right? Now, if you take that off, you've obviously got a couple more on here. So you can see if I put the filter on greater than 0, you'll see all of the up days, so yesterday, okay? And you can see this was basically COVID. And then you can see here, this was obviously yesterday. So in short, we've had 7 days. 7 days in 10 years. I keep saying 15 years. I think I tried to do 15 years and couldn't get the data. So that is less than 1 occurrence per year. And it's actually less than that because 3 of those occurrences, 4 of them, in fact, happened in 1 year, which is COVID. So if you scrap COVID, you pretty much have 3 occurrences in 10 years. Which is crazy, right? Because some people probably think, this happens 5-10 times a year. It hasn't even happened 10 times in the whole history of like 10 years worth of data. I'm going to try and get like all the way back from like 1930s, right? Let's try and get as much as I can. But I just thought that was really interesting. Now, in terms of the short side, in terms of this, the negative days, you can see here. We have more, but we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have about 8 days. And you can see the down days are always slightly more. So this is, I'm assuming, again, if my data is correct, so apologies if it's not, but from what I've seen, it does seem to be correct. So that is showing that we've got more days where we have opened, but significantly more rare to have, crazy rare to have a day where we're up 3.9% or more, down or up in a day, right? In 10 years worth of data. And again, if you take the anomaly out, if you take the outlier out, which is COVID, again, take COVID out, you've got 3 days in 10 years. where it's not an anomaly where you've got it for 1 year, right? 15, 24, and 25. So pretty crazy. I thought that was really interesting. So going into today, what do we have? No surprise, right? No surprise. We have bullish momentum from the CPI. And again, why is this happening? HIMS 4.5%. Oh my days! I should have just kept everything in PIMS. HIMS, sorry. I had 60K in HIMS and I put it in Tesla and HIMS and AMD. Like equally. Should have just kept it in HIMS. But looking at the charts today, again, where are we, right? I'm going to keep it really, really simple. And again, I'm probably going to lose some people this week. But I'm going to be ruthless in what I say is I don't care. Because I know what works for me. And it's going to upset some people and I get it. But again, you have to be ruthless, right? You have to be cruel to be kind. And people are only going to learn when they just are fed up with making mistakes. And that's where I was before I got to where I am. I was fed up with making the mistakes. So it gets to the point where it's like, you know what to do. And anything else above that, anything else that doesn't align with your plan, I don't care. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I just not bothered because I know what works for me. Again, appreciate it. I'm probably going to lose some people this week in terms of because I'm not doing much. But hey, I'm surviving. And capital preservation sometimes is more important than trying to keep up with the move, trying to keep up with the FOMO. I'm lucky that I've got a large portfolio in my long term. So I don't care about having to trade every single day when I've got these huge moves. Because the value isn't there, right? The value is where we've been trading. Anyone that is, been in the room for the past 2 weeks, right? The value's been here. This is the value, right? This is your A plus here. This is what we traded. This is all completions. Now, of course, we're going to go to all-time highs. Very likely we're going to go back up to all-time highs. But you have to look at this from a risk-reward point of view in terms of 7% versus we've already traded 22%. We've already made like ridiculous amount of gains in these days. So all we need to do now is just pretty much, take it easy and wait for those really clean setups. We are going to get that day where we do, we sell off and they're the days you just want to be long. But any of this now is just you are really, really chasing. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to continue higher because we are going to continue higher. We have to complete, 25K, 28. These are all levels that are going to get completed within the next 3 to 5 years. That's going to happen at some point. You've only got to look back of what we've been teaching for like the past 3 years, right? These levels complete. I could go back and spend 2 hours on this, but we've been doing it for the past 3-4 years. All I'm looking at, and again, that's irrelevant for me right now because all I'm looking at is for the daily basis, right? I'm looking at what I can get today. On that basis, yesterday's range was yesterday's range, I can't see yesterday's range. The past 10 days was 313 points, okay? So when I talk about the daily, the reason I talk about that is because long-term wise, the portfolio only goes up. As the portfolio goes up, the stress of having to trade every single day when the opportunity and the edge isn't there diminishes. You will only be anxious and have FOMO when you need the money the most. And that's the worst place to be at. So you have to try and get to a point where you don't need to trade every single day because of XYZ, whether that's you've got really good income from somewhere else, or you've got a side hustle, or you've got a long-term portfolio. In short, you don't have to be worried about having to trade when the probability and the opportunity isn't as good as it was a couple of weeks ago. Like for May, for April and March, I made $75,000. So like, that's where, and if we look at the charts, what were those opportunities? Full completion, 62 to negative 62. That's a 20% gain. Like, that's what we trade, right? Wait for the market to show its moves, buy the pullbacks, buy all of this. And now they're just selling into this. And of course, they're still buying because they're going to be going for all-time highs. That's going to happen, right? It's about trying to find those entries and basically, in short, wait for the cleanest, wait for when everyone thinks we're going to go lower, right? But until that happens, I can't long this. Yes, we are in extensions. Some people just don't get it, do they? Oh dear. Thank you, Dom. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, we're in extensions, right? And all I wanted to see yesterday was the 720s hold. That held at the 720s. We then traded a halfway back. It's not like this isn't rocket science. Like, I'm not even going to try and overcomplicate the strategy in any way, because HIM's 8%. I gotta check the long term. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I should have just kept it in Tim's, because I'm pretty much flat, because I only did this yesterday. I'm flat on Tesla. I was already up. I just sold. But yeah, I'm up 10% on HIMS, and then the other two are basically down 1% on Tesla, up 1% on AMD, because I rebalanced the whole portfolio. But that's crazy. But again, what did I wait for yesterday, right? I waited for the 720s. We got the 720s. Traded the 720s. All that was is an ATR rebalance and a high-to-high extension from the 2nd of May, Friday, right? Why? Traded the halfway back, completed negative 23. High-to-high trades, halfway back trades, once, twice, completes negative 23. ATRing into that, to and through targets. What do I teach in the masterclass? To and through targets. To and through targets tells you so much in terms of what to do next, right? And you guys who have got it, you know exactly what I mean by that. To and through targets. And if you don't, I don't want to be a jerk, but you're not studying right, because it's in there. It's in there. It's in there. Trust me. To and through targets. So yeah, that's all we've had. Again, long yesterday at 720s, selling on my ATRs, rebalance of your ATR to the downside, up, basically took out highs, came back down, trade to halfway back once, twice, completes negative 23. ATR into those targets. ATR reversal to the upside, rebalances halfway back, completes. Again, there's like nothing to do here unless you're long, right? And if you're not, you can't short this, right? So just be patient. But for me, I'm fine, because I'm just long term's doing its thing, right? I'm making more on my long term each day than I am trading. And that's how that's how it wants to be, right? Because then you don't have to worry about having to trade every single move. Like, I can't trade this to the long side in terms of a day trade, unless I'm like long from the overnight, right? And again, just like I said yesterday, the reason I traded on the overnight Sunday night Monday, was because the retracement was there. I longed this, which was the retracement from the high to high from Thursday, sorry. So I longed all of this, sold into this ATR candle literally at the high, didn't get the massive move, but I sold at the highs, $19,000. And then overnight today, I didn't trade the overnight today. I mean, I saw the halfway back, but I won't lie. I was wanting that 720 retest, which then would have broken the extension, which then makes it a little bit more wary. So the fact this has held the 50 is good. I just don't want to chase longs. That's the only problem I have. And I understand that's like, a fallacy, or it's going to potentially cause me to not take any trades. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky, right? Because yeah, I mean, like the overnight halfway back was the cleanest draw for sure. But now I just feel like any retracement down is potentially just going to be trying to catch longs out, and then the last thing I want to be doing is buying highs. But then on the contrary to that is, you're in an uptrend, pullbacks are valid. So it's really tricky right now. This is where I don't like to trade. This is where I like to just sit back and watch everyone else blow up and make content on the reason why. Whereas I would rather just sit back and be like, no, I see what this is doing, and I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'd rather just not get hurt, allow this to continue up, because why? Because we're going for all-time highs, and I've been long on the long-term portfolio for years now, and significantly more down here. So I'm fine with that. And that target, that target is 20, just shy of 25,000. It's not going to happen today, but that's what our bias is, right? And the reason why is, we can just go back in history, right? What happened? Entry, exit, entry, exit, entry, exit, entry, exit. And that lines up with the March 22 low, COVID low extension, 62. So 25 will be a huge magnet, and there will be a huge reaction on that level. That could be a to and through. And if it is, geez, I mean, that's, yeah, just follow it up. 30K, right? And again, not today, right? Not today, but this is the bias, right? And this is how we get the bias. This is what makes trading so easy. You know the bias. All you have to do is wait for pullbacks. Are there any pullbacks right now? No. Hence why I'm not trading, right? Were there pullbacks on Sunday? Back into these highs. Aggressive, but it was a high to high that held. Were there pullbacks yesterday at the high to high? Did I go long? 720s? Yeah. Are there pullbacks right now? No. Therefore, you can't do anything. So that's all I got this morning. I will see. But in terms of levels that I'd want to be interested in, it's going to be a same anchor new high, right? And even this I don't love. Even this I don't love. There's just nothing here for me. In fact, bear with me 1 second. Let me... I don't know if I can grab it up on here. Yeah, let me do this. So even here... Yeah, like, I mean... there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. In terms of pullback, even this 650 zone, there is like, it's a bit meh. Like, I don't even love that. Do you know what I love? Which is crazy. Like 19,500, which is like 1,500 points below. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do, right? I can't do anything. So yeah, I just have to wait. And why do I like that level? Well, that's a full same anchor new high. And that brings you down to a real nice sweet spot, 19.4s. And that's valid because we've completed T2 of the traditional, right? You know, I don't even mind. Yeah, 19.4s, which is also back down to these highs. So yeah, there's nothing to do here. Nothing to do. I'm probably going to have a really chill week. And again, appreciate it. Some people are going to be annoyed, right? Because I'm not trading every single day. But hey, there's a reason. There's a reason, right? There's a reason. So if there's any questions, let me know in the Discord. Sounds like I picked the toughest time to start learning the system. Yeah, I got no idea. I don't know. I give up. I give up. Yeah, I give up. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and I will join Zoom. And yeah, I think everyone just wants a free lunch, and it's like, yeah, I've been doing this 8 years. Like, come on. You ain't going to learn this in 7 days, right? Take a minute. Take a minute. Anyway, I will load Zoom up, and I will load Tradeovate up, and if I do get into anything, obviously I will let you know. Those levels are going to be, you know, I don't even like the longs today. Even if I take a long, I don't even like it. So I'm already expecting to lose money, right? Which is like, it's crazy. So I think you should be expecting to lose money every time you enter a trade. But like, even on a trade where I'm like, you know, I'm happy to take a long, I'm still going to be today, because there's just no, like, there's no solid support here. You'd have to wait at least a couple, 3 or 4 days to build support here. Anything is just chasing, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to definitely take this week easy. And yeah, for those who are obviously loyal sort of CMP members, you get it. You know, I know you guys get it. And for anyone else that's confused, you'll be back. You'll come back, and you'll take a couple of years, but you'll most likely come back and you'll see. But or you won't, and that's fine, right? There's loads of other people out there system-wise, which you can obviously learn from and hopefully do well with. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I will load up the other screen. And I will turn this one off, and I will see all you Discord members on Zoom.